I was just reading, actually, in this here magazine that I'm holding, Joy Williams. I don't know if you ever read any Joy Williams. Really, really good, sort of like Southern Gothic, I would say, like short story writer. But she did an essay on Gene Hackman's death. And just like how weird it was, right?
Yeah.
Because like most rich people are surrounded by like a coterie of servants, and he apparently wasn't. So him and his wife were just like in that house for like 8 days, and they were like mummified. And, yeah, a lot of really spooky observations about time. Oh yeah, this one I have highlighted here. Time is weird. Illusory, of course. It moves like God in mysterious ways. Maybe it is God. And I think that's one of the better guesses that anyone's ever had about the nature of the higher being. Yeah.
It moves like you two in mysterious ways. Yeah.
She moves. Maybe Bono's God.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this is the world we deserve. The world where Bono is God.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there is the timeline in which Bono is God, it would be our
the one we're in. Yeah.
Our present time.
I'm the only candidate. I'm the only candidate.
So, you sent me... Alright, so hold on. Let's start the episode. What's today? Today is the
Sunday.
26th.
October 26th.
The 26th, it's a Sunday, as it always is when you hear Outdoors Cats record, but sometimes you are listening to it on a Monday, or even, frankly, a Tuesday, depending on how long it takes me to get the episode up. Editor's note. Or Wednesday. But we record on Sundays, and today we wimped out, or I wimped out, to be clear. I wimped out and said, we're going to be indoor cats today. We're going to record inside, and we're drinking espressos out of our Batman cups. Thank you, Dad. Best present ever. Chris has got on a Worcester hot dog safari hat, which is so sick.
It's a great hat.
Yeah. With the crucial ribbon band going over the brim, that really ties the trucker hat together.
It really does. It gives it that like the guy who has the hat from like a Navy boat that he was on 60 years ago kind of vibe.
Yes. Yeah, most oft seen at a VFW in a cloud of smoke, hovering just above a Keno slip. And you were wearing your red tracksuits today. We were just remarking on how expensive you looked.
Yeah, apparently I look expensive. But yeah, I got my red tracksuit on. This is my back under 300 pounds tracksuit.
Hell yeah!
Big day. I haven't been able to wear the entire ensemble in I don't know, several years. I threw it on and then left the house and was like, wow, I'm gonna be bringing some strong landlord vibes today. So let's just pretend I meant to do that.
Yeah. Of course. And you're bringing strong vibes also because you have a clip for us that I want to start the episode with. Checking in with John Frizzolo, our good friend, the guy that we really hope wins in District 3, not because of his politics, but just because of on account of like he's very funny.
It's gonna be funny if that happens.
And after this clip, I actually have a scenario that I gamed out, in which John Frizzolo is the only crank left on the city council. Like, it's mathematically possible. So we'll get to that, but after the clip.
Yeah, so I'll just introduce this by way of saying so much of this episode, including how we're going to end today, fell into my lap this morning, really early this afternoon because I got up late. And this was one of those things. I woke up, opened up Instagram as I'm wont to do. And, of course, within the first 2 or 3 stories, you're bound to get an ad. And I got this ad.
Here, I got it. I'll pull it up.
Candidate for District 3 City...
Oh, shit. Come on.
Hi, I'm John Frasolo, candidate for District 3 City Councilor. Early voting is underway, and I respectfully ask for your vote. With 15 years of experience as state representative, I know the issues our families face. And I am the only candidate who supports the lowest residential tax rates. So plan on voting early, and I'd be honored to have your vote. Thank you very much.
Dude, the dramatic strings.
I like that had escaped me until just now.
Oh my god, that's so sick. He typed in music for campaign winners and some AI, and they spit that out. Yeah, that's so awesome. Like, what a bald-faced lie. And like we talked about last time, like, he's just gonna hammer on that, and puts Rob Pizzella. It's kind of brilliant politically because it puts Rob Pizzella in the position of like looking untrustworthy for like the most mundane thing that a political candidate in Worcester can throw their support behind. Like, it's almost like a prerequisite to run, especially for a district seat, that you support the lowest residential tax rate.
Yeah, it should just be assumed of all candidates that they will say this, because we've talked about this at length. We don't need to belabor it. It was on last week's episode, but yeah, it is kind of brilliant. He has Rob Pizzella defending a position that Rob Pizzella didn't actually take, which is kind of cool. It's a big dog move.
He definitely big dogged him. It's so funny, dude. But he's just so fucking funny.
I said to Bill before we started, to hear him tell it, he actually really makes it sound like he is the only candidate, like he came up with the idea of the lowest residential tax rate.
Right.
He doesn't say I'm the only candidate in this race, which would also be false.
Or in District 3, clarifying it.
No, like he's the only candidate.
I'm the only candidate in the history. That would be so sick if he did that. I am the only candidate in the history of Worcester City politics that has supported the lowest residential tax rate. Oh my god!
I mean, he's such a silver tongue. Right before that, he mentions his 15 years in the legislature. Of course, not mentioning how that time in the legislature ended,
right?
Or the fact that it ended upwards of 10 years ago. Yeah, he's like I said last time. He's got an interesting relationship with the truth. That man.
Yeah. Oh, so I wanna share with you my my scenario. So but first we need to play the other clip, the one that I sent you, of Joe Petty getting interviewed by Manny J of Manny J Media, and it was sort of right in the sort of introductory phase where they're just chatting. They haven't talked about anything yet, and the conversation turns to Gail, Joe Petty's wife, and this is the exchange.
Real revitalization of the city. Over the last 10 to 15 years, I've been part of that and want to continue that.
Yeah. All right.
I'm married. I have my wife, Gail, my 3 kids.
Quick, shout out to Gail.
Oh, shout out to Gail.
She's amazing. She lets you you're gone all day. So maybe she likes that, right? She gets a little bit of a break. No. She gets to miss you, and then when you come home, she can love on you, right?
I wish.
No, but shout out to Gail. We appreciate you.
My 3 kids.
I wish. Dude, the timing of Rodney Dangerfield with that one. I wish. Yeah, well, gotta hand it to Joe sometimes. That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. Joe's thirsty, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Joe's like, we make love one time every 2 years, and it's after I win, the mayoral election. So I have to keep running.
It's the first Tuesday in November, every odd year.
Yeah.
That is obviously the highlight of that clip, but just hearing it again, I love the part just before that where Manny's like, we love Gail. She lets you, you're gone all day. It makes him sound like he's a house cat or like a dog that,
right.
just gets let out in the morning. He's like,
She lets you out.
She lets him out. He's gone all day, but he always comes home for dinner. Always comes home when the streetlights come on.
Yeah, fun times. The election early voting has started today. You can go and vote at the library. What is it? It's like 9 to 5:30. I'll put a link in the description. Every day until Election Day, which is next Tuesday, depending on how you count Sunday in your week. I count it at the end of the week. I think it's the last day of the week.
Sunday's the last day.
But some people consider it the first day of the week.
That's insane.
It's not. Sunday's the last day of the week. I'm going on record right now just saying that. So next Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays from now, is the city election. And it can go really badly, or it can go a little bit less well, but it can go really well still. The potential for it going bad, there's more of a swing for it to go bad than there is a swing for it to go good. Although there is, in all of the hypothetical scenarios, which I gamed out for an election guide that I'm going to post probably before this episode comes out, there's a massive swing just in the mathematical possibilities. Because we get stuck, I think, thinking about the probabilities, thinking about, we know Joe Petty's going to get on the council. We know Kay Toomey's going to get on the council. Only the 5th and the 6th at-large seats are really up for grabs. Which is, almost, entirely true, right? I would give, there's a 99% chance that Joe Petty gets back on the city council. But what if he doesn't, right? So I was like, let's just game out the hypotheticals to get fired up, to get hyped up. So I put all of the candidates in every race in sort of one pool and broke them down by progressive, center, or crank. So our progressives are Rob Bellotta, Tel Hajji, Christian King, Caden Davis, Keith Linares, Jamo Kamara, and I'm putting in Awura Sarkodie in the progressive category after the comments he made at the last mayoral debate about Civilian Review Board, which were pretty cool. I don't know. We didn't talk about that, did we?
Not yet. No.
No. Okay. So,
but we're going to.
We should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should. We should talk about the Civilian Review Board stuff. I mean, that's our main story for today. I would say is Tim Murray's busy fit. But I just wanted to quickly include this first. So our centers are Ojeda, Pepple or Pebble? Pepple. Gary Rosen, I'm putting as a center, although he's crank-coded.
I think it's optimistically fair.
He's crank-coded but politically center, I would say. He's winnable on certain things.
I think that's true, and I think Gary would follow a progressive council rather than fight it. I think he would actually maybe find that kind of exciting. That's just my personal feeling.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that a lot. And then Edson Montero I have in the center category. So 4 centers. And then a lot of cranks. Joe Petty, Kenny Merrill Carlson, Kay Toomey, Mo Bergman, Donna Colorio, John Frizzolo, and Rob Pizzella. No escape for District 3. Jose Rivera, Moneybags Mitra, Ted Costas, and Tony Economou. What a rogues gallery. It's really interesting seeing them listed out like this because we're so often making distinctions between at-large and districts and whatever. But worst scenario, which is a possible scenario mathematically, is that we have 10 crank, 1 center, no progressive board. Gary Rosen represented the only center, and then it would be Joe Petty, Kate Toomey, Moneybags Mitra, Donna Colorio, Mo Bergman, and Kenny Merrill Carlson, Tony Economou, Rob Pizzella, and Ted Costas. That is a city council that would legitimately construct the prison camps.
Yeah, that's It's not an outcome we're looking for. But actually, it is, I would say, more in the realm of possibility than the furthest swing to the other side. So let's do everything we can about that.
Right. So this is I'm anybody listening to this, please just go vote. These margins are so slim. We need you. We need you to vote, because there is a possibility that's mathematically possible, though not at all probable, that we have a 10-vote coalition between progressives and centrist candidates, and then on the other side, by himself on an island, John Frizzola. And guess what the progressives are going to do? They're going to vote for the lowest residential tax rate, as they have every single year that there has been a progressive on the city council, rendering John Frizzola's entire campaign pitch moot.
Yeah.
Because the people that his camp are instructing voters to be the most afraid of are going to do, as a matter of fact, the thing that he is using to set himself apart from the pack.
It's an interesting way to think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, but what that would look like is Rob Bellata, Attell, Caden Davis, Christian King, Awara Sarkodie, Jamo Kamara, and Keith Linares, and then 3 center votes in Ojeda, Pepple, and Montero. And then left by himself with his laundry list of allegations and more skeletons in his closet than Dracula, I'm reading here, is John Frizzolo. So that's the outcome we should be shooting for. In order to make that happen, it would require unprecedentedly weird voter turnout. But with 15 to 20% of the electorate voting in a typical city election, there's 80% on the table. You know, there could be a weird year. It's not like we're at capacity here. You know,
and we're not talking about, that is the good news of the bad news in a city like Worcester. We're not talking about like, oh, we need 80,000 irregular voters to show up for a municipal election. Now we need like 5,000 or 6,000.
Right. Could
completely like turn this city into wacky town in a good way.
Yeah. And like the Cranks already have their numbers. They're not pitching to anybody outside of the people that are already voting for them. So it's possible. It's just possible. I think we got to keep that in mind as we head into what, I don't know, I think both of us are expecting it to be not the best. but it could be better than it is bad. I won't bore you with like there is a path to a 6 or 7 majority of progressives and centrists against Cranks. And that is possible, and that is contingent on removing Donna Colorio and I guess it's just it's contingent on winning the district seats and picking up like 1 or 2 more at-large seats, but it's still going to be tough. So I don't think we need to go through that scenario now. I'll be putting out an election guide. You can read it there. I think we got to turn now to our Tim Murray's meltdown about the Worcester Regional Research Bureau, which he was apparently on the board of and no longer is. Now, I just want to say, Chris, before we get started, I had no idea that Tim Murray was on the board of the Worcester Regional Research Bureau. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, what does the Chamber of Commerce have to do with research? Like, why would a Chamber of Commerce guy be on the research boards, a research company's board of director?
Yeah, well, I thought about this too. It's funny. So I didn't know he was on it, but I guess I just sort of assumed he was or would be. Like it didn't surprise me that he was. What I thought we're going to get into the statement that he released and the action that he took that prompted the statement in just a second. But The first thing that jumped out at me about this is the fact that not only was Bill Murray, Jesus Christ, not only was Tim Murray, not only was Bill Murray the head of our Chamber of Commerce, not only was Tim on the Research Bureau board and also running the Chamber of Commerce, he put out this statement through the Chamber of Commerce and like listed himself as like Tim Murray, member of the board / like Chamber of Commerce. And I was like, that seems really weird. Like, aren't you on the board as you? But I looked at the board, and everyone lists their occupation who's on it. Like, not as like a matter of disclosure. It's like, you know, it'll be like so-and-so, you know, Key Bank or whatever. It's very weird. Apparently they go there in their professional capacities, which is strange. I mean, the reason you do this is that there is completely unmerited status given to people who sit on boards that don't actually do anything. And that works out just fine for them, except in this one case, apparently, where it didn't. And Tim gets into that in his statement.
Oh, yes,
Bill, I think
he
you
does.
promised us a dramatic reading.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to channel. I'm trying to channel my inner Tim Murray and see if I can do a decent impression. But it's hard. It's subtle. The things that make him funny as a speaker are subtle. I don't know if I can really do it, but I'm gonna try to get the cadence down, like how I imagined him writing this. Like, he definitely wrote this himself. And it's kind of obvious that he wrote this, and he was angry when he wrote this.
Yeah.
But to I guess we should properly set it up that what was it, last week or the week before? I think it was the week before. The Worcester Regional Research Bureau put out a report, as they do, about a civilian review board, and they made, a pretty straight and fairly compelling case, I felt, that Worcester has been overdue for a civilian review board, or some sort of public oversight mechanism of the Worcester Police Department. It was a measured report, and we don't have to talk about civilian review boards, I don't think, because we've done that. We've been over that many a time, and it's they're only good when they're really good, and we're definitely not getting a really good one in Worcester. But whatever. Anyway,
I will say this though: the Research Bureau. I think it's only worth talking about quickly in the fact that the Research Bureau not only said we are overdue for a civilian review board, but they gave some specific examples of what that should look like. That were actually good examples of what a good civilian review board would look like. Mm-hmm. Independently appointed, having subpoena powers. I can't remember some of the other things, but those are like actually, if you want to make a civilian review board that is worth your while, those are some of the really important aspects that make them actually have some kind of teeth.
Right.
And so not only did they recommend one, they recommended one along with the things that it would need to actually function effectively.
Right. And so that, I was surprised, personally. I mean, pleasantly surprised, but definitely surprised to see them release that, like, before the election, because I had pretty much made my mind up that the political class had consolidated around the idea that civilian review boards will get spoken about only after the election, the re-election of Mayor Joe Petty, right? Because Joe Petty is on record in the past voting against civilian review boards, and in comments made during a WGBH, or a GBH, I guess, they're just GBH now, GBH debate a couple of weeks ago, he didn't update his stance at all. He said, "We already have civilians looking at this," which is a funny-ass fucking line. Because I guess Chief Saucier has some sort of, I don't know, ad hoc, consultancy or committee or something of people that aren't cops, whatever, That's not the same thing, is what we're talking about. But, so the Worcester Regional Research Bureau puts out that report It throws the mayor's race a nice, meaty wedge issue. And Tim Murray decides that he needs to make a statement about this apropos nothing. Like, no one else made a statement. Tim put out the statement by himself on the Chamber of Commerce's social media channels. I saw it on Instagram. I don't know where you saw it. I think
Facebook, I think. Yeah.
So this is him. Throughout my time in public-facing roles, the Worcester Regional Research Bureau, under the leadership of Roberta Schaefer, Tim McGourthy. Dude, Tim McGourthy used to be the Research Bureau? What the... And Paul Matthews has produced high-quality research and reports that have benefited both the public and policymakers when deliberating important issues. The request by City Manager Batista and the City Council for a report on police oversight protocols, including civilian review boards, is an important public policy matter that merits thoughtful deliberation and debate. To issue a report and recommendation 3 weeks before a competitive municipal election was, in my judgment, a mistake that does a disservice to the important discussion and debate this issue warrants. Pause. How does it do it a disservice? What are you talking about? How dare you release this report at a time when people are paying attention?
Yeah. How dare you release this report that is very pertinent to the city council race, and perhaps no more so than in the mayor's race. Like, there are a lot of things that distinguish Joe Petty's position from Christian King's position. I would say one of the main things, if not the main thing, is the difference that they have on how we handle policing in the city and how we oversee and have oversight of policing in the city. Like, this is a big one.
Right. And this is like, I mean, if you want to go back over the last 2 years, the last term of the city council, I mean, policing accounts for like, I don't know, 60 to 70% of the, like the really dramatic and pressing issues of the moment. So it's like he is mad that the Worcester Regional Research Bureau put out good research at an appropriate time. Right, like that's really what he's mad about, is that the research came out at a time where it could conceivably lead to affecting material change in the circumstances that they're researching. Right?
Yeah,
it's like, we don't do that.
We can't have that.
We don't want research release that leads to policy reform in any way. That's not the point of what we do here. We're supposed to just make it look like we're trying. Didn't you get the memo, Research Bureau? You're supposed to just make it. You're supposed to launder and astroturf the inaction of our political class, and I think that becomes a little bit more obvious as he continues on in this statement. He says, additionally, the board of directors of the Worcester Regional Research Bureau does not receive notice about when reports are being issued, nor are we solicited for input on potential research topics. Accordingly, I have suggested to the Worcester Regional Research Bureau Executive Board members, both prior to and after my resignation, that a better description of the Worcester Regional Research Bureau Board of Directors in its current form would be cooperators or supporters of the Research Bureau, as the executive board and officers are the primary decision makers on the Research Bureau policy and personnel matters. So that's just literally him saying, don't disinvite me from the cop bar, don't disinvite me from the cop bar, don't disinvite me from the cop bar.
Yes. This, I thought, was actually the most interesting part of the statement, because you're exactly right, Bill. This is when I realized precisely who this statement is being given to. Mm-hmm. This statement isn't for us.
No.
Tim Murray doesn't give a shit what we think it like in general. This is him saying to all of his cop buddies, look, I didn't have nothing to do. I didn't even know. Like I don't even do anything yet. Like, and that is the other piece of what this says. He's basically saying, like, look, I'm just like on this because it looks good for me to be on there for them and for me. I don't do anything. I don't have any input. I don't know when the reports are going to come out. I don't say what they're going to research. Like, I don't do fucking anything. And neither does anyone else on the board.
So it's like so many quiet parts being said out loud for no reason here, because like I said, it's like this is a statement that came out apropos of nothing, right? And actually someone sent me a screenshot of the way that Anthony Petroni has been talking about this, and I think I want to take a pause from the statement. There's one more paragraph of the statement. It's not that good of a paragraph, but I want to take a pause here and read that thing from Petroni. Oh wait, yeah, here we go. So the Worcester on Facebook, of course. This is where Petroni does all of his posting. So he's reading the statement on Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, and Anthony Petroni, who had a sprinkler ordinance killed allegedly by others, not me or Chris, because he has rental properties that would be affected, and was successful in doing that because of the I don't know what you would want to call it, maybe like a agent-handler relationship he has with the majority of the city council. He said, "It's unfortunate the WRRB would let their personal relationships with certain city councilors influence their ability to be fair and objective."
Can you imagine the nerve of something like, and just imagine this, I know this is crazy, of someone's personal relationships with city councilors having an impact on the way they vote. Anthony Petroni certainly does not have that relationship with a number of city councilors, and it certainly does not impact the way that they vote on the sprinkler ordinance, any kind of police accountability, any sort of anything going to die before the Public Safety Standing Committee that Kate Toomey chairs. And Mo Bergman is on, and Louis Ojeda just has to sit there and like stare at the paint on the wall.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the nerve?
Like texts from Anthony Petroni to a certain city councilor whose name rhymes with Shmoomy have been read on the floor in real time as the statement of a councilor whose name rhymes with Shmoomy.
Anthony Petroni is sitting on the city council by proxy.
Yes.
Through more than one person.
Through, I would say, Kate Toomey, Candy Merrill Carlson, Mo Bergman, and to a lesser extent, but I'm going to put him in the categories, Joe Petty. I was sitting across the way at a restaurant one time recently. And I'm not going to say which restaurant, in case he doesn't know what I look like still. But I was sitting across from Anthony Petroni. He walked in and I was like, fuck. Apparently he didn't notice, but I was like, damn, this guy's actually like, I don't know. Like these police union guys, it's like, I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of scary.
I mean, it is actually kind of scary. Like, I mean, what do you think's going to happen if he does do so? If he loses his temper a little bit,
exactly.
And something happens, and let's say the police come.
Fucking nothing. Yeah. Right. And that's what makes it scary. I mean, not a reason to stop. I mean, it's actually more of a reason to call the bluff on that publicly. But it was a little bit like, shit, and I don't feel that way about, say, Paul Matthews of the Worcester Regional Research Bureau. He is not somebody with a scary amount of soft influence over violence and the deployment of violence in this city. He's just a nerd. He's just a nerd who runs a research thing.
Yeah.
He's so for Anthony Petroni to be talking this way is awful rich. He goes on to say, the findings and timing of this report was calculated, I believe most in know will see through this. The findings and timing of this report was calculated, I believe most in know will see through this. Oh, okay. So the findings and timing of this report was calculated. And then, sick, period. I believe most, air quotes, in the know will see through this.
Thank you for that translation, Bill. ChatGPT could never.
The findings and timings of the report was calculated, I believe most in know will see through this. Jesus Christ. Fucking barely literate. And then another one from Mass Labs write-up, Kate Toomey saying, thank you, Tim. Which is just amazing. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Oh my God, the Research Bureau is just so unfair. Unlike all their other reports, which I have definitely read.
And that's what's also really funny about this is the council actually loves when it is convenient to them, which is most of the time, by the way.
Right.
The council falls over themselves to utilize research that comes from WRRB to do things that they already want to do or to support things that they already want to support. This is not some leftist organization by any means.
No, it is
nonpartisan and run by a bunch of bankers and Tim Murray types. Tim McGourthy used to run it.
Right.
These are not people who it is by its nature probably right center. Mm-hmm. Just because of who runs it and who decides what it does. But yeah, no, in this situation, it was taken over by woke. So Tim Murray had to take his ball and go home, I guess.
It's a testament to how badly the Worcester needs public accountability of its police department that this body would put out a report like this. And in a way that they had to have known would sort of buck their good standing with, I don't know, the crony blob of insiders that has, their hands on all the meaningful levers of power in this city. For this is not typically a source of controversy, of controversial reports. They're not an organization that is known for really pushing the envelope or the Overton window when it comes to stuff like this. So for this right of center board to say we should have had a civilian review board 10 years ago is really crazy.
Yeah. I have no idea who pulled the trigger on releasing this when they did, but
right.
Hats off to you. Seriously, that took some intestinal fortitude.
Right.
And I applaud it.
Because so the backstory on this is this was a salve at the time after the DOJ report from the city manager. He's like, I will ask the Regional Research Bureau to do a report on civilian review boards, and I will take their recommendation into consideration when I write my draft proposal for a civilian review board. Now that draft proposal is still forthcoming. And I believe, if my instincts are correct, we won't see that until late November or December at the earliest, because, Joe Petty hired Eric Batista by himself, basically. So, he is not going to get out ahead of anything.
Not only that, the stated reason for the delay in releasing that that proposal was to wait for this report.
Right. They were blaming the WRB.
They were saying, "Oh no, WRB. We have to wait for their research.
We need that research.
They do amazing work. It's going to be the most important document on this matter. We just cannot move forward without this.
Yeah.
I'm sure expecting full well that we wouldn't see it before November 4th. And then some way or somehow we did. And a few of those counselors who were waiting, in such good faith for this to come out.
With bated breath.
I know there was more than one, but Kate Toomey is the one I can definitely say for sure. Basically, immediately came out and was like, "No, we still don't need one."
Yep. Yeah. The vote on a civilian review board right now is 6-5 against, 6-5 to file. That's, I think, exceedingly obvious in this moment.
Yes, and this report with the council currently constituted will not change one vote. It will not change one of those votes.
And policy arguments have never changed the vote on city council anyway. But this report definitely not going to. In fact, it's there is a way of looking at this where releasing the report without the recommendation sort of allows them the runway to get their opposition to it, the rhetoric of the opposition together. In advance of having a document to work off of from Eric Batista. So maybe Tim Murray is doing a little bit of kayfabe here. Maybe he's just leaning into the bit. They're like, we need a fall guy in the narrative that we have to construct for why we're voting no on this. So what if we blame the Research Bureau? It's not going to work. It's pretty thin premise, but it could be. They could be trying to play some 4D chess.
They could be, except no one fucking cares. Blame the Research Bureau. What do you think, John Q at the package store thinks about? They don't give a shit.
The Research Bureau made this political. I can totally see Candy Merrill Carlson saying that. I would have supported this if the Research Bureau hadn't made this political.
Ooh, yeah, that's got real Mo energy too.
Yeah. Political. That's this is in my election guide, so I don't want to talk about it in depth. But Jose Rivera, in his recent candidate profile on the Telegram, says that he has no political ideology. Unlike my opponent, I have no political ideology. It's well, then why would I vote for you for a political position? Why do you want a political position if you have no political ideology? The way that these cranks talk about politics is just so crazy.
It is really funny, and it is actually a way that I think a way that you could look at it, that I like to look at it in that race, is that Attell kind of has big dogged him as well, because they hate Attell so much that she's like, I believe in things, and I think that this job is more than just being a customer service representative. And Jose literally came out in the last debate and was like, I have no political ideology, and ended his statement by literally saying, I want to be a customer service representative.
Yeah.
That's how mad she makes them.
I would be proud to be your customer service representative. And can you imagine a low information voter being like, wait, what are you running for again? Being legitimately confused by that line, being like, wait, do you want to be a city councilor or do you want to be a customer service? Or do we elect our customer service representatives?
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, again, it's who they're talking to, right? Because if you go talk to the average person in this city, voter or non-voter, especially non-voter, but even the low information, maybe they show up, maybe they don't, if they remember on Tuesday, maybe they remember some names on the ballot kind of voter.
Yeah.
The city council is not actually a customer service representative to them. The city council is a customer service representative to the people who have city councilors' personal cell phone numbers.
Yes.
And those are different people.
And it's not that many people.
No, in the grand scheme of things, it's not. But that is the most important thing that city council does for them.
Right. Is
when their personal petty grievance comes up and the sidewalk outside of their house has a crack in it, they can call Candy, and she'll get DPW over there maybe faster than 311 would. The normal people, the non-political freaks, just call 311, or they just assume that the city won't do anything to help them, which is a fair assumption.
Yeah, it's an instructed assumption. I would say it's been a well deserved reputation that reporting stuff to the city doesn't lead to anything happening. But that is sort of the silver lining. Like the thing that I think that we need to work with here is that like your Kate Toomey and your Jose Rivera, like they are so swaddled in like the blanket of this like above board corruption manifest in this like crony political culture that surrounds City Hall. Like Eric Batista too, they're all so swaddled in this like social scene, like almost like a subculture that they can't see outside of it. Like they legitimately think that like that is everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why they're so indignant when they're being presented by like they have to argue with somebody who doesn't subscribe to like the sort of ideology that they claim not to have.
That's a really good point, and this makes me think about it in a way that I honestly haven't really ever thought about it before this second. But I think you're correct, and that makes me realize that this is sort of like the culture that is very prevalent on the internet now of being extremely online, being too online, and that making you think that like the entire world around you has the same political beliefs you do. The place I always see this cited is like, and I'm not picking on her, although I'm not her biggest fan, but Elizabeth Warren, when she ran for president, a lot of people, this was a moment in Twitter where Twitter started to really tweak its algorithm towards like giving you what you already think. Right. And so it presented people this illusion that like, oh my God, like I love Elizabeth Warren and I think she's got a plan for that. And everyone I see on Twitter does, which means like she's going to get, 280 million votes. Yeah. And then when that didn't happen, but it's certainly not confined to that. I would say it's gotten, look at like most of what comes out of the DNC now. It's all like, Zoomers and alphas who just spend their entire time online and are like, yeah, everyone thinks this weird freak shit that I think. But this is exactly that. And it's pre-internet. It's existed for a long time. Right. And it's only been refined by Facebook. Yes. But it's not, you can't blame Facebook for this one. Like, you can't blame Facebook for like Jordan Polito. No. Jordan Polito is a creature of this environment. Jim Polito. What am I doing? Jordan Levy and Jim Polito. Dude, Jordan Polito. Jordan Polito and Bill Murray. Jordan Polito is the crank that she tells you not to worry about. Jordan Polito. Yeah, the mecha crank. We have constructed the strongest of all cranks. No one has ever voted for a tax rate that is lower residential than this guy, Jordan Polito. But yeah, Polito. like Jim Polito and Jordan Levy are presage Facebook by a number of years, and they are the products of and contributors to this political culture, this political milieu that Candy Merrill Carlson and Kate Toomey and all of these people operate in. And the real difference of the past few years has been that the sort of progressive movement in the city is like consciously outside of that and doesn't try to be inside of it. And I think that is really that for the cranks, they're just processing this as an in-group, out-group sort of thing. Like they just find it insulting that they're being challenged. Yeah, that's it. I think that's correct, and we cannot make Facebook stop destroying people's brains, Facebook at all. But we can make an impact on what constitutes the in-group and the out-group in the city. Like, we can actually change who that is. And until we do, they're correct. They and all the people they know are the only people that matter to them, and it can be. They need to be rendered politically irrelevant.
Which is,
I have a quick, mildly amusing Tim Murray story.
Yes.
So it's really not that exciting. I just think it's a nice little slice of Worcester that I like to bring when these things happen to me here. So several years ago, a friend of mine came into town. He comes into town probably once, maybe twice a year. He lives on the West Coast now, but he's originally from Connecticut. He always comes to visit me here. He loves Worcester. So he comes and, one of the things he's always like, let's go, I don't know, let's go have a real Worcester experience. Let's go do some Worcester shit. And I'm always like, I don't really know how to manifest that for you. We can go to Ralph's or something and see who's there. So he was here once, and the Red Sox were in the World Series. So I guess it must have been 2019. And so the Red Sox were playing in the World Series. It was an early evening game. I was like, let's go to Moyna's and watch the game.
Fuck yeah.
So we go into Moyna's. It's early mid-afternoon. We're the only people in there. It's us and John, the bartender, / owner guy. And the door opens, and who walks in the door but Tim Murray?
Yes.
And comes in, says hello to John, says hello to us, sits down at the bar, and for the rest of the time we are there, Tim Murray buys all of our beers. He doesn't know who we are. He might have a passing understanding of me. He doesn't know my friend from anyone. He doesn't live here. And so we left the bar that night. I didn't say anything then because we're three people in the bar. He's sitting 6 feet to our left.
Yeah.
But we left, and I was like, you always ask me to give you a real Massachusetts experience, and I was like, let me tell you how much of one you just had. I was like, awesome. The former mayor, former lieutenant governor of Massachusetts, and us, and only the three of us were just sitting in the oldest bar in Worcester, and watching the World Series, and he was buying all of our beers. That's pretty peak Worcester.
And you know what makes that even more peak Worcester is that, we're talking about former lieutenant governor, former mayor, and this is in sort of the third act of his political career that every Massachusetts politician goes through, which is the post-DUI era, the post-high-profile DUI era. Because you can't forget that part. You really can't.
We should say Tim Murray did not get a DUI. Right, but
it was a spiritually...
It was a spiritual DUI. I feel comfortable saying it was a spiritual...
In fact, it's worse that he didn't get a DUI, I think.
Yeah. But for people who don't know what we're referring to, I'm not going to remember when it was. It was 10 plus years ago, more than 10 years ago. Tim Murray was driving north on 190 at 5 o'clock in the morning, driving very fast without his seatbelt on, and ran off the road and crashed into the rocky outcropping on the side of the road and destroyed his car.
And he was wearing pajamas, I remember that.
And he was wearing pajamas.
Yeah.
And that's all we know.
Yeah.
We don't know where he was going. We don't know why he was going. We don't know if he had been to bed. Well, I guess, he had his pajamas on. Maybe he was planning to go to bed. We don't know. We don't know if field sobriety tests were initiated. I think we might actually know that they weren't.
We probably know that they weren't, but I'm not going to research this. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual thing.
He was lieutenant governor, and then he wasn't.
Yes.
I think we can leave it at that pretty safely. Speaking of people who were things and then weren't, Chris, you prepared a little segment for the end of the show today.
I did. So yeah, this came to me, like I said, just by serendipity this morning. Open up the Telegram. A lot of times on a Sunday, there is literally nothing on the Telegram's page that wasn't there on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So imagine my surprise and delight when I found an article that we will link. That it's a column by Sarah Barnacle. Good work, Sarah. Worcester County Wonders.
Yes, Worcester County Wonders.
Yeah,
we love Worcester County Wonders.
What lies under Worcester Common? The answer might surprise you. The answer is what lies under Worcester Common is hundreds of corpses. I knew there were still bodies, like I knew there were still graves under the Common.
Well, there's the fenced off section.
Well, so yeah, there's the fenced off section. So you're like, oh, that's a little graveyard. I knew that more of the Common used to be a graveyard, and that those bodies were disinterred and moved to, some were moved to Hope Cemetery. There's like a whole plot at Hope of people that were moved. What I didn't know was how many bodies are still under the Common. And actually the answer to that question is we don't know how many bodies are still under the Common. But it is estimated to be at least 300 bodies that are still buried in Worcester Common.
There's not 300 tombstones.
No, there aren't.
Jesus.
So here we go. This is from the article. At one time, more than 400 people were buried there prior to 1824. Nearly 3 decades later, Worcester made the decision to lay the gravestones flat, bury the cemetery in several feet of dirt, and ultimately build an ever-expanding railroad over the land.
What?
That seems like the beginning of a horror movie.
Wait. There was a railroad that went through the... There was a railroad that went through the Common at one time?
Apparently there was railroad that went right through the Common during the 1800s, during the rail era. And rather than, like, move this cemetery in the, respectful way that we would consider to be common now, they just fucking flopped the gravestones down flat, threw some dirt on it, and built the thing over a graveyard.
So we survived... The city of Worcester survived 3 attempted burn it all down arsons at the hands of the Nipmuc tribe, and took that run of good luck and just pissed all over it by building a railroad over a graveyard, and now we're stuck with that curse forever?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
My entire thinking about our lot in life as a city is a little different now that I understand like how much we begged for
a curse.
For a curse.
we tried to become the Hoosac Tunnel of cities.
Seriously. Okay, so just after it says wasn't until the 1960s that the old gravestones were rediscovered, when the city attempted to build a reflecting pool. One of the approximately 5,000 things that have been on the Common and then been ripped up and then replaced with other things.
There's a dome over this place. There's a dome over this place that God is not allowed in. God is not involved in any of the decision making.
There's a dome over this place that 300 corpses put there. More than 100 graves were revealed and reburied at Hope Cemetery. It is believed another 300 remain untouched, undisturbed, and unidentified.
Oh, unidentified. Great. So we don't even know who we're fucking with.
No, we actually don't. There were unmarked graves. There were graves that we know are there, but the tombstones are gone. A lot of people at that point, particularly poorer people, were just buried in an actual pine box, which will rot. So there's just bodies in the ground. Like, they're not even necessarily in coffins anymore, if they ever were. There are just literal skeletons, hundreds of them.
Dude, that's spooky.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky. That's why I thought this was such a good thing for today. Our last episode before Halloween.
Bones that are not encased in a coffin or cement will eventually rise to the surface, will they not? Am I right about this? The math of that? They don't get buried deeper. They become...
I would think they would work their way up. I don't know.
So I'm just thinking about the eventuality of like a flooding event.
If with a flooding event, yeah, they'll definitely
just
pop.
unearthing like bones.
Yeah, good thing the city isn't extremely prone to flooding, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not like we have that problem.
So I wanted to take a very quick detour here to just shout out Worcester Public Library's Library of Things, because it's mentioned in the article that one of the things in the Library of Things is a ghost hunting kit that Worcester Public Library put together that you can check out.
Whoa, sick.
Yeah. I don't know if people know about this, but there is all kinds of shit that they have. Let me just poke real quick and get you things you can get from the Library of Things. Oh, I'm in a view here where I can't see it. I'll just try to remember some. You can get a radon detector, all-region DVD player. You can get a beach umbrella. They have floodlights. They have portable Jackery battery packs that you can borrow. They have a knife sharpener. They have a luggage scale. They have a ring light. They have a bunch of games. Here, I'll get through this in a second. Anyway, they have a ton of shit. You can borrow a beach cabana. You can borrow binoculars. They have night vision goggles. Holy shit.
Wait, they have night vision goggles?
And a metal detector. We need to check those out. We need to do a metal detector night vision goggle episode.
Oh my god, we need night vision goggles so bad.
Yeah, anyway, the Library of Things is really cool. If you don't know about it, you should check it out. They have all kinds of cool shit. All right. So then I noticed in the article that there was a link to a book that cataloged the epitaphs from the gravestones in the cemetery. And I was like, I gotta look at that. I gotta see what was on those things. So the first thing, this is a complete aside from that. I noticed in the in the article a reference to someone who was buried, who was listed as having been a member of the inferior court, which made me realize that the district court used to be called the inferior court.
All rise, the honorable judge of the inferior court.
Which I thought was really cool. It makes sense when you'd have an inferior court and a superior court.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was funny.
Dude, that would make a judge for the district court an inferior court judge.
Bill, are you able to pull this up on your laptop?
Yes.
Okay. When I pull this up on my phone, all these images I put in here don't load in a way that I can read them.
Okay, I have it pulled up. Our document, you mean?
Yes.
Yep, I have
the master document.
I have these. You want me to read some of these images?
Yes. So, can you just read what the one that starts with 174 David Young, what that says?
Yes, 174 David Young, born in the parish of Tarbin, county of Donegal, Ireland. See note ante number 2. The Young family first introduced and planted here the valuable esculent, the potato. Whoa, that's sick. About the time of its introduction, a few were presented by the Irish to some of our early inhabitants who, being suspicious of their poisonous quality, threw them away as unsafe to enter their homes. Dude, that's crazy.
Right?
What? Oh, okay. I misread that. But what are we dealing with here for years? Like, when was the potato?
Apparently,
people thought potatoes were poisonous up until like what? I don't know, freaking 1600s or some shit.
Yeah, this was pre-revolutionary. I don't remember the year that I pulled this from, but it was pre-revolutionary. Apparently this guy brought the first potatoes to Worcester. And other Irish people who came in the 1700s brought potatoes to the United States. And non-Irish people were like, fuck that. We think those are poisonous and we're not going to let them in our houses.
That's so funny. Yeah, I don't eat any of those weird Irish rocks. I don't get it. You bite into it and it's hard.
What's that thing, grow a leprechaun or something?
Freaking Irish people, they're always fucking doing weird shit.
Bringing these tubers. I thought that was so... Because the other people that were here were fucking English. Had they never seen a potato?
Yeah, they came from, they weren't from, freaking Mars, dude. Like, I'm trying to think of a place right now that wouldn't have potatoes. That's crazy.
I just thought that was a funny little aside.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so here's some of the themes that I pulled out from... I went through all the gravestones. There were way too many examples. You should click this link and read these epitaphs. It's really fascinating. here are some of the themes that I pulled out from the epitaphs. One is God stuff, which is boring. There's just a bunch of like, oh, I was good. God's going to come and get me. The thing I thought was fascinating about this part and worth mentioning is that according to the epitaphs, their understanding of what happens when we die was very different than I think the one people have now. There's a lot of references, but basically it seems like the notion of heaven at this point was that you died, you got buried, and you stayed in the ground until the second coming of Christ, when he would come and get you and bring you to heaven. So in the meantime, you were just gonna like hang out.
So it's more like a cryogenic.
Yeah.
Sort of cryogenic before cryogenic type.
Yeah,
of
just like, organic cryogenic. Which brings me to the next theme, which is moldering and dust. There's a lot of references to moldering and dust. The third theme, my favorite, that there's definitely some examples of that we're about to go through, is the concept of I'm dead and you're gonna die too. That comes up a lot, and I think it's really fascinating. The one other thing I wanted to just mention that I found in these that was very interesting, there were 2 years where there was like a seriously outsized number of deaths. One was 1756, and it's noted in the book that there were a lot of deaths that year, and there's no indication as to why.
Interesting.
And then 1796, 80 people, which is about 10 times the number that were typically interred year to year. There were 80 people interred, and the reason given in the book was a prevalence of, quote, summer complaint.
Huh. Summer complaint.
Yeah, died of the summer complaint of 1796.
That is creepy. I don't know if that's an illness or a revolt, right? Is a complaint a revolt? Or are they complaining about having a really weird cough?
Yeah, that's how I read it, is like a different version of like consumption or something.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, everybody's dying of the summer complaint this year. The complaint is that they got this thing in the summer and it killed them. All right, so let's get into some of these epitaphs before we get out of here. Yeah. Bill, can you read the quote in the one that starts with 117, Mary Harris?
Okay. In the cold mansions of the silent tomb, how still the solitude, how deep the gloom. Here sleeps the dust unconscious, close, confined. But far, far distant dwells the immortal mind. Wow. I gleaned little to nothing from that. But I do like the cold mansions of the silent tomb. That has a nice ring to it.
The prose is just,
There's good prose.
We used to be a proper country. I'll say it again.
Yeah. Here sleeps the dust confined by far. Wow. My mind's going to be elsewhere when I'm just sitting in this tomb waiting for Jesus.
Waiting for Jesus to come back and take me.
Want me to read the second one here?
Yeah, read this one.
Reader. That's awesome. Addressing the reader, like dear reader on your tombstone, is a power move.
Bill, I'm so glad you like this, because you don't know this yet, but that is going to come up more than once after this. Reader,
death is a debt to nature due, which I have paid, and so must you. Wait, what is that from? Death is a debt to nature due, which I have paid, and so must you. I have used that. That is in the script of a comic book that I'm working on, or something.
A lot of these.
I have grabbed that line before and used it for something.
Yeah, a lot of these are definitely pull quotes from like the Bible or from some famous text or something. These people didn't write them necessarily.
Reader.
Yeah. Reader.
I've never seen a tombstone on it with reader before. I really like that.
Well, let me end us off here with 3 more.
Okay.
All addressing the reader.
Yeah.
The stone of Elizabeth Lydia Brown, 1751, reads, Reader, behold as you pass by, as you were lying, so was... Oh, sorry. Let me try this again. Reader, behold as you pass by, as you were living, so was I. As I am now, so you must be, prepare for death and follow me.
Reader, kill yourself.
KYS.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Now we have Andrew McFarland. Reader, keep death and judgment always in one eye. None fit to live, but who is fit to die?
Wow.
Fit spelled with 2 T's in both instances.
Yeah.
That is not my typo.
In the manner of well, that's good that you clarified because our listeners were concerned about that.
Oh yes, they're reading the document along with us, obviously.
That's their parlance, their vernacular for thick. You know, is how I read it. You know, thick with 2 C's, like fit with 2 T's.
Yeah. Yo, I was dummy fit to live.
I was non-fit to live. Yeah.
And then, last one. Short, sweet, to the point. Jonathan Gates. Reader. Remember death.
Dude, what the fuck? I just love it. Like, such a petty-ass move to be like, I know I have a clear picture of the reader of this document in my head, and I want them to remember that they're dead. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you wrote this when you were alive.
Yeah.
Why do you want them to remember?
It is, reader, if you are reading this, I am dead. And the most important thing I can tell you in this immortal stone space that is devoted to me is you're going to be dead too.
This is putting a new twist on the central observation of this show, that Worcester is a spiteful and petty city. Because these are some of the pettiest tombstones I've ever read in my life. Like, this shit runs deep here.
Yeah.
We're talking back to 1751. 1796, the Summer Complaint. We've been a petty city for about that long.
We talked about this central theme of Worcester as a city, of petty grievances and dragging them out and letting them bedeviling your enemy's days and letting it ruin your life. I didn't realize at the time we didn't carry it far enough. We didn't carry it as far as our forefathers and ancestors did,
right.
Which is that you can actually still troll your enemies when you die.
You bring it with you after life.
And you bring it to them even after you're dead.
And you hold it in your heart as you wait in the still ground and the silent, deep gloom. And then once you get to the afterlife, you rekindle it immediately.
Yeah. Hey, fucko.
Yeah.
Remember how you sold me that fucking bunk ale?
Sup, dipshit? You still owe me $5.
Yeah? Well, I'm dead, but I didn't forget. All right? I may have forgiven. I may not have forgiven, but I didn't forget.
Yeah.
And I'm dead.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that makes you happy. But I want you to know, you're going to be dead too, fucko. It foretells a great spray painting in the sky. That's what that foretells. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it's perfect. It really ties the room together. Mm-hmm. It brings together all kinds of things about why this city is what it is, and how it will just always be that way.
Yeah.
And it brings in, the spooky scaries of the All Hallows Eve season.
That's right. Well, I think that's a good place to end it. Chris, you have any Halloween plans?
I don't have any interesting Halloween plans. I'll actually be traveling up to New Hampshire on that night.
Okay.
I really wish a testament to how fucking soulless the types of buildings that I live in are. When I moved in there, I was like, this is awesome. There's like 1,000 people here and kids. No one trick-or-treats.
No one trick-or-treats in the building?
No one trick-or-treats in the building.
Stupid. They probably all drive out the hole.
Yeah, they probably do. Just fucking soulless.
I know. I don't get trick-or-treaters here either, but it's a three floor walk up, so no one's trying that hard for candies. But yeah, all right. Well, I'm having a boring Halloween too. Everyone have a nice, safe, boring Halloween, or if you're doing something cool, make sure it's really cool. And don't forget and remember death.
Death.
Remember death, everyone.
Death, the lowest residential tax rate, and voting on Tuesday.
Yeah.
November 4th.
Death and the lowest residential taxes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and vote on the 4th. All right, we'll talk to you this time next week.
Later.
Wait, is this time next week? I'm getting confused. That'll be, no, just before the election.
Just before the election.
We'll talk to you just before the election when we've reached an even crazier fever pitch.
Yep.
Yeah, we love it. All right, bye.
Oh yeah, what a city! It's got some hills, the Worcester Hills. It is the heart of the Commonwealth. Oh yeah, Worcester, Massachusetts. What a wonderful city. Oh yeah, let's go to Worcester, have ourselves a good time. Let's have fun in Worcester. Worcester is a great community, oh yes it is. Worcester is a wonderful place to be, oh yeah. Worcester's got a lot of nice big buildings. Worcester's got a good school system. Worcester's got several colleges, Assumption College and Holy Cross, oh yeah. So many good things to see in Worcester. For instance, Bancroft Tower. What a great tower, oh yeah. I love looking at that thing. Check out the Allen Park Iron Bridge. That thing's amazing, and it's in Worcester.